Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 with me, Dan, and the BMW Slothz team as we get underway with race number 4 in the second week of season 4. And we're coming to Imola, so of course we're going to have a sprint race here, but we've got a lot of things to get through here on the calendar. A few upgrades in the works as well. There is one of the reliability upgrades that we're after, to try and keep our machine running to the end of the season. Or in the gearbox upgrade for now. We will jump down and pick up an ice reliability upgrade. Moving on one more day after picking up yet another reliability upgrade. Over to R&D again, considering the gearbox, and then going for the MGUH. And one of the components which regularly fails near the end of the season. Skipping the pointless supercar stuff which I've never used, and I really hope that they haven't wasted time on in F1 23. In fact, if they are going to do it, here's an idea for EA. Why don't you just add the old F1 cars and have those as the supercars instead? Because I think they're much more relevant to what people want. They were taken away from us in the past as well, so we might as well have them back. Anyway, as for this, we're on to practice 2, but of course there's only 2 practice sessions for Imola because it is a sprint race, and a sprint race which doesn't really go great, but we'll get underway with that in a moment. Considering our final upgrade, there we go, we're going to go for an MGUK, and we get that one, and now it's race time. Right then, we've come to the overcast Imola for our first sprint race of the season. As for the others, I guess we're going to have one in Austria still, and another one in Brazil, I think, is the other one. So right at the end of the season in Austria, somewhere in the middle. So anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you know when those videos have been uploaded. And yeah, if you're looking forward to F1 23 as well, comment down below or like the video. Just do whatever you like. Buy the game. I will be. Anyway, on to the starting grid. We got Lando Norris starting alongside of Red Bull, but this time Sergio Perez will start on the first row alongside our teammate. Then we have Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen. We only got 5th in qualifying alongside Charles Leclerc. Behind us, Robert Schwartzman, Lance Stroll, Carlos Sainz, and George Russell. Then we have Esteban Ocon and Liam Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, Oscar Piastri and Théo Pourchaire, followed by Dan Ticktum and Nicholas Latifi. Behind them, Pierre Gasly and Joe Guan Yu, followed by Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen. And now we'll get underway with the first sprint race of Season 4. Right, here we go then for sprint number 1, starting P5 here on a track which is pretty difficult to overtake on, so hopefully we can make the most of it. As we come down to turn 1, everybody all over the place already. As we come down towards the braking zone, we got Robert Schwartzman trying to make a move around the outside, now the inside of us. He's alongside us still. It looks as though there were 3 Hasses there, but I think that was just a trick of the light. We managed to stay ahead of Robert Schwartzman into the chicane. He is getting racy behind us, though, that's for sure. A quick look at the tyre wear for some reason. And we continue onwards. Rejoining on lap 3, because that is how interested it has been on this sprint race. Lando Norris 2 seconds up the road. This is Alonso on Sergio Perez for second place now. Perez runs deep into Alonso there. Alonso gets the place, but I just saw some debris running off track there. Fernando Alonso has lost an end plate as they come through now. Well, that's going to be at least 1 position gain for us as we're currently sat down in P6, which isn't ideal. And there's the McLaren of Fernando Alonso. We're on board with Leclerc now. Up the hill, Max Verstappen tries to get around the outside, doesn't quite make it, but then we're going to have a look at the recovering Verstappen, or not, as we come into the dip. Up the hill we go, riding the curb quite violently there. Are we going to make a move into the chicane? Yes, we are, up the inside over the Leclerc curb. And we've got past Verstappen. So a second position gained for us once we've lost Fernando Alonso into the clutches of the pit lane, as he should be doing in just a second. And then we'll be following Leclerc and Perez to the finish on the final lap. There goes Alonso. Realistically, should have just stayed out with the damage for just one more lap, but hey ho, this is the replay. Goes to the outside. Perez runs it deep and clips the front wing off of the papaya car, leaving us to finish the sprint race now. It's a short 5-lap sprint. Hopefully we'll be made faster in the next game with 35% race distances. We'll at least get a little bit more time on these. But there we go. Lando Norris picks up quite a dominating win as he stops on circuit in front of everybody and causes a big traffic jam. And Charles Leclerc picks up driver of the day. Realistically, needs some more overtaking spots here, but there are the final results for the sprint. And now we'll be getting on with the next race. So then the weather has brightened up on the following day after the sprint race, and we get to go all over again around Emilia-Romagna as we try to improve on our position from yesterday. Of course, we did get one position back from where we started, so we're up to 4th now, partially because we lost a position to one driver and then gained one back from Verstappen, only then to have Fernando Alonso come into the pit lane and give us another. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell as well, so you know when all of these races are uploaded as a reminder. And we're going on to the official starting grid. We'll see where everybody ended up after that crazy sprint. But Lando Norris starts alongside a Ferrari this time with Charles Leclerc in P2 on the front row of the grid, followed by us in P3 and Max Verstappen, Robert Schwartzman and Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Liam Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda and Théo Pourchaire up to 10th. Perez takes a penalty, moving him down to 11th alongside Alex Albon. Behind them we have Pierre Gasly and Nicholas Latifi, Dan Ticktum and Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon and Kevin Magnussen, Ocon with a penalty. Then we have Fernando Alonso after his pit stop down alongside Lance Stroll in 20th, Oscar Piastri and Zhou Guan Yu also at the back, both with penalties. So quite a lot of penalties across the board, not really saying a lot for the reliability of the cars, having just come out of the regulation changes. There is Lando Norris, having received no grid penalties. What a useless piece of information that was. And there's the state of the Drivers' Championship. Still a bit of a way to go before we take the lead there. But we've still got a long way to go in this season as well, and a lot of time to improve. There's Max Verstappen. He'll be starting behind us in 4th. Right then, time for Imola. We've avoided this from the calendar for a few seasons now, but it's time to return and see what we can do here against our overpowered teammate. Verstappen gets a great run off the line and gets ahead of us quite quickly. Leclerc is challenging our teammate into turn 1. Norris covers him off, and I think Leclerc actually may have sniffed his ass with his front wing and maybe taken some damage. Who knows? We'll have to see. Robert Schwartzman again looking racy behind us on lap 1. He's doing quite well now, up into P5, considering that he's now carrying the McLaren performance here with his teammate all the way down in the lower reaches of the field in front of just a few Hasses and Aston Martins. This is Max Verstappen then, trying to get past Charles Leclerc. He's got a good run at him potentially here, closing in quite nicely on the Ferrari. This is not going to impress the fans, but Verstappen all over the place, not able to find a way past Leclerc into turn 1, and decides to tug it behind him. We still keep Robert Schwartzman at bay as well. So he's going to try again, presumably now with DRS, as we have as well. Let's see what Verstappen can do here against the Ferrari. which seems to be much faster this season. Absolutely nothing, apparently, as Leclerc continuously moves from side to side against the wishes of the FIA. We nearly rear-end Verstappen and have to overcorrect ourselves. Robert Schwartzman still waiting for us to crash. He's going to be waiting a bit longer, I think, for that to happen. We rejoin on lap 5. Still stuck behind Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. I get the impression that Charles Leclerc may actually be causing a bit of a tailback at this point. But we go for a move on Verstappen. This time it's around the outside of the chicane. Verstappen's going to have the better line through here, and we're not going to be able to get past him that way, that's for sure. Robert Schwartzman still sniffing around, hoping for an opportunity and not finding one. As we also try to find a way past Verstappen, who's now on the defensive. And pit stops are coming up as well. Ah, yeah, there we go. We're into the pit lane. So pretty pointless trying to get past. George Russell, as he tends to, has followed us into the pit lane. Like some creepy pervert, he once again watches us from a distance as his pit crew tends to his car, and we get away. Probably coming out around, yeah, at the back of the field. We've got Lance Stroll behind us as well. As we rejoin on lap 6, there's Alonso just pitting for mediums, I take it. As we set the fastest final sector, we get past Albon as well. Who's that? There's Verstappen there as we get past it with the undercut. And into what is going to be net P3, because let's face it, Lando Norris is so far ahead at this point, it's not even worth mentioning him anymore. So the question is then, can we get past the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc and absolutely devastate all of the fans watching here in Italy? Leclerc is in a Ferrari, and that should speak for itself. He also has no DRS, which should also speak for itself. We've got a clear track ahead of us. It looks as though we do. Only the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz is leading the crews out of the pit lane. There they go. And we're going to go to the inside of Leclerc into turn 1, but he has none of it there. Late brakes and somehow manages to keep the position from us. Mick Schumacher, along with a Haas, which could be Oscar Piastri again, are running around just ahead of us. I can't see Schumacher getting by, so we're not going to find out who it is. Or maybe we will. I hope we do, and I hope it's Piastri. That'll be 3 races on the trot this season. He's been able to do that. At least I think it'll be 3 in a row. No, it won't be 3 in a row, will it? This is race 4 that he's been running around in the top 5. But we're slowly gaining on the Ferrari. We're much closer through the Leclerc chicane. This time, Leclerc, mindful of what he did last time, is not throwing it into a spin. As we come down into the final 2 corners, the double left-hander, in come the 2 cars ahead of us. So he's got nothing to help defend him. DRS is open. It is Piastri who was running around in the top 5. We're going to go to the left-hand side. Charles Leclerc tries to squeeze us onto the grass, but we get past the Ferrari before we reach the braking zone of turn 1. And that is that. Lando Norris still 30 seconds ahead of us, so has a pit stop in hand. Charles Leclerc looking racy now as he goes to the inside and crashes into the side of us as he goes across the sausage curbs, undoubtedly causing excess damage to the underfloor of that car. Apparently, Robert Schwartzman's also making a move on the sights behind us as well. Let's go on board with that audacious move. I'm pretty sure that was an illegal overtake because he was beyond the white line, but then again, looking at some of the overtakes I've made on this game, I can't complain. Norris has come in. For some reason, he's gone into the hard tyre, probably to mock everybody with the lead that he has. He's coming out of the pit lane, and we're only coming around the final corner right now. He's literally doing a Michael Schumacher. As we go, trying to make the same move again, Leclerc giving us no room at all. We take the position away before turn 1 once again, and we, this time, do have the position, I think, coming through. Let's make sure he's weaving around a little bit. He's thinking about it. You're probably a little bit too early on the brakes when we came through last time, which didn't help us. Anyway, Norris, fastest lap of tyre, still pulling away from us in first. Already approaching the braking zone for turn 1, whilst we're trying to defend from Charles Leclerc. And unsuccessfully defend from Charles Leclerc. The Ferrari has figured out how to go fast. Into turn 1, he defends it, slams on the brakes mid-corner, but doesn't cause any incidents. Verstappen, being wary of what Leclerc was able to do, we cover him off just in case. Where's Robert Schwartzman? Still in 6th. We'll keep an eye on that one. Norris already gained another 1.5 seconds over where he was just now. And we follow on behind the Ferrari. Into the dip we go. Can we get a good exit here and get him into the chicane? Oh, he makes a mistake on the exit. We're going to go to the outside of the chicane of Leclerc corner. Will he bin it into the barriers? No, but we get around the outside because Leclerc doesn't want to fight it. Potentially just lets us through so he can get DRS to defend for Verstappen in just a moment's time. We're going to come into the final 2 corners. I'm really hoping that Max Verstappen's going to try and make a move on the Ferrari here, because I really do not want to have to defend around this circuit too much, considering that we're not exactly doing particularly well here compared to Norris, who's nearly 10 seconds ahead. Leclerc closing in quite rapidly now, but he's not got the speed to get past us. Or does he? He goes for another audacious move up the inside, sends us over the sausage curbs, and gets the position away. Max Verstappen is having a look as well. I think he might give it a go as well. He does. He crashes into the side of us through the chicane there. And up the inside, he is trying to go through the hairpin, yet he sends us too wide. And we have to give up the place. Leclerc, clearly the mad Ferrari driver of the day. Max Verstappen takes an interesting line through there and has to brake mid-corner. Now Carlos Sainz is trying to go around the outside of us into the dip. He tries to get revenge for us firing him. Well, he left the team. I don't know why he thinks we fired him, but whatever. Off he goes into the distance behind us. We're going to try and go around Verstappen. We dummy to the right, and he moves left in the braking zone. Does Max Verstappen. Disgusting moves going on there at Red Bull and Ferrari today. Weaving around all over the place. Robert Schwartzman has just got past Carlos Sainz. He's up into 5th. Great race for him. I don't know if he's going to stay there, but if he does, well done to him. As we come into the double left-hander again, we've got 2 laps to go, and we're still chasing Verstappen, but Verstappen is going to lose DRS on Leclerc. What's he going to do this time? Well, we go left. He also goes left, squeezes us to the curb and the grass, but we get past him. Yeah, we get past him, and into turn 1 and 2 we go. Nice and easy. Will he try and come back at us, though? That is the question. As we round the final couple of corners onto the final lap. And down we go towards turn 1. Verstappen closes in. Doesn't make a move on us as we come through here. And we're probably pretty safe for the next few seconds at least. A tough race. A really tough race, this one. Although I'm not particularly too bad at it, apparently Lando Norris is much better at it than me and everyone else, for that matter. A 13.5 second lead over Charles Leclerc in second. Absolutely unbelievable that he has been able to do that on just a single race. That's nearly a second a lap faster than everyone else. Yes, we've been fighting. Yes, he has the best car, but I mean, realistically, the other teams on the performance graph are only as low down as they are because none of them bothered with reliability, much the same as me. Unless, of course, you're looking at Audi or Aston Martin, who for some reason prioritise that above all else, and it still doesn't help them. But we come around the final corner. Across the line we go, spinning in celebration, and an end to a disappointing race for us. 2 apiece then. 2 wins for Norris. 2 wins for me. going into race 5 in Miami. See what happens there. And there he is, celebrating. We assault him, hoping to cause an injury, but I don't think it stopped him. Maybe he'll pull a muscle whilst jumping around in that erratic manner. One could hope. But there he goes, copying us onto the podium and lifting the winner's trophy. Making this championship very interesting is Lando Norris. I'll be hoping to make something special, summarising this season by the end of this season as well. So keep an eye out for that. And here we are with the full weekend results. Lando Norris picking up the maximum points there, followed by Charles Leclerc and then myself with 20 points. The rest of the field all the way down to Yuki Tsunoda picking up something to take away from the weekend. So over to the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris extends his lead by another 14 points, so he's now 27 ahead of us. We're followed by Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Robert Schwartzman, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. 1 point behind we have Liam Lawson, then Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda round at the point scorers, followed by Nicolas Latifi, Kevin Magnussen, Joe Guan Yu, Alex Albon, Teo Pourchaire, Oscar Piastri, Dan Ticktum and Mick Schumacher. And finally over to the constructors, of course, BMW extend their lead once again, now with double the points of Red Bull in second. Then we have Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Alpine, AlphaTauri, then Williams, Haas, Aston Martin and Audi. And that's all for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.